Want to speak real Turkish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at turkishclass101.com.
How to respond to how are you? Nasılsın? How are you? Okay, first, let's start with learning the question. How to ask how are you? It is nasılsın? Nasılsın? How are you? There are other ways to ask how are you. Another one is naber. Naber. It is more casual than nasılsın. There is one more, and it is more polite way to say. Nasılsınız? Nasılsınız? So there are three ways. Nasılsın? Naber? Nasılsınız? Ya sen? And you? Ya sen? And you? So, of course, this will be after someone asks you, how are you? How are you? I'm fine. And you, right? So, nasılsın? İyiyim, which means I'm fine. And you? Ya sen? Or, sen nasılsın? Which means, how are you? And you is ya sen. Ya sen? You don't even need to say ya. Just say sen. Well, it will be casual, of course, but it will mean the same thing. Sen? İyiyim, sen? Son zamanlarda nasılsın? How have you been recently? Okay, the next one is son zamanlarda nasılsın? Son zamanlarda nasılsın? How have you been recently? I think if somebody asks me, like, how have you been recently? Son zamanlarda nasılsın? Maybe it will sound like maybe they were just worried about me, like maybe I had bad time. So they're asking me, son zamanlarda nasılsın? Maybe something happened, so that's why they're asking. So it's not everyday question. You don't ask every day, son zamanlarda, son zamanlarda. Maybe something happened and that's why you're asking. How have you been recently? Son zamanlarda nasılsın? İyiyim. I'm fine. İyiyim. I'm fine. İyiyim. I'm fine. So okay, let's make our conversation one more time. Nasılsın? İyiyim. Sen nasılsın? And you can say again, İyiyim. Or, ben de iyiyim. I'm fine too. Ben de iyiyim. Fena değilim. I'm not bad. Fena değilim. Fena değilim. I'm not bad. Which means so-so. Fena değilim. I'm not good. I'm not bad. Fena değilim. I think we use it very often. Fena değilim. It means like so-so. Or you can say idare eder. It is, I think, really casual way to say I'm not bad. So if somebody asks you nasılsın, you can just say idare eder. Like so-so. Uykum var. I'm sleepy. Uykum var. I'm sleepy. Uykum var. I'm sleepy. That's usual me. If you ask me nasılsın all the time, I will answer you uykum var. Uykum var. Maybe it's not a good idea to say your manager. Kötü hissediyorum. I'm feeling bad. Kötü hissediyorum. I'm feeling bad. Kötü hissediyorum. It sounds like maybe you're sick, maybe your health is not good, or maybe you had some fight with someone. It doesn't have to be physical too, of course. If you say kötü hissediyorum, then somebody will ask you in return, neyin var? You will hear this, I think, I'm sure. Neyin var? The question, it means, oh, why, what happened? Like, what is the problem? Neyin var? İdare ediyorum. I'm doing okay. İdare ediyorum. İdare ediyorum. I'm doing okay. Do you remember I also said this before in this video? İdare eder. İdare ediyorum. I think it's better way to say. İdare eder is a really casual way. But both same meaning. İdare ediyorum. Which means so, not bad, I'm doing okay. İdare eder. İdare ediyorum. Fena değil. Her zamanki gibi. Same as always. Her zamanki gibi. Same as always. Nasılsın? Her zamanki gibiyim. If you say like this, I am same as always. Her zamanki gibiyim. Or you can say, like everything is same as always. Her şey her zamanki gibi. Her zamanki gibi devam ediyor. Sorduğun için teşekkürler. Thank you for asking. Sorduğun için teşekkürler. Sorduğun için teşekkürler. Thank you for asking. Well, I think we don't usually thank when somebody asks how are you to us. If it's like everyday conversation, like how are you? I'm fine. Thank you for asking. We don't say. But sometimes it may sound like actually you're angry to someone. Thank you for asking, like you were never asking me. So when you say this in Turkish, sorduğun için teşekkürler, with a bit angry tone, then it will be like you're actually not feeling good about that person because that person is never asking you how do you feel or like that kind of thing. It may sound angry sometimes. So of course it depends on your voice tone. Sorduğun için teşekkürler. Like this.
In this lesson, we will learn some of the most common greetings used in Turkey. Hazır mısınız? Are you ready? Hadi başlayalım o zaman. So let's start then. The most used informal greeting is selam. Selam. Selam means hi or hello. Because it's so casual, we should only use this greeting with friends or relatives. If you're greeting someone you don't know, you should use a more formal phrase. Merhaba. Merhaba. Merhaba means hi or hello too. If you want to make the greeting a little bit more formal, you can say iyi günler. İyi günler. İyi günler means good morning and good afternoon. In fact, you can use it all day, from morning until evening. During the evening, we say iyi akşamlar. İyi akşamlar. In an informal parting situation, Turkish people use güle güle. Güle güle. Güle güle means goodbye. Finally, in Turkish, we have an expression meaning hope to see you soon. That can be considered both formal and informal. Görüşmek üzere. Görüşmek üzere. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Turkish. Let's review them all again. When meeting older people or someone we don't know, merhaba. When meeting friends or relatives, selam. When greeting people from morning to afternoon, iyi günler. When greeting people in the evening, iyi akşamlar. When living in an informal situation, güle güle. When living in a formal or an informal situation, görüşmek üzere. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Zehra's insights. If you can't remember how to say goodbye in Turkish, you can just say bye bye. Bye bye. This expression is pretty casual, but at least nobody in Turkey will have any trouble understanding you.
Want to get cheat sheets, audiobooks, lessons, apps, and much more every month for free? Just click the link in the description to get your free language gifts of the month.
In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Turkish. You can do it with only 2 sentences. But first, it is important to clarify that in Turkish, there is a difference between the formal and the informal language. Let's first see how Turkish people introduce themselves in an informal situation. Selam. Ben Zehra. Tanıştığımıza memnun oldum. Hi, I'm Zehra. Nice to meet you. Selam. Ben Zehra. Tanıştığımıza memnun oldum. Start by saying selam. Ben. Then say your name. Selam. Ben Zehra. Finally, say tanıştığımıza memnun oldum. Nice to meet you. Selam. Ben Zehra. Tanıştığımıza memnun oldum. And now, let's see the same sentence in formal speech. Merhaba. Ben Zehra Özdemir. Tanıştığımıza çok memnun oldum. Hi, I'm Zehra Özdemir. Nice to meet you. Merhaba. Ben Zehra Özdemir. Tanıştığımıza çok memnun oldum. So, what has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a close look at this together. Selam has been substituted with the formal greeting, merhaba, Turkish for hi. Ben Zehra hasn't been changed. In both cases, ben means I am. However, during a formal self-introduction, we also say our last name. So I said Zehra Özdemir. Here you would say your full name. Finally, pay attention to the ending. We went from tanıştığımıza memnun oldum to tanıştığımıza çok memnun oldum. We have just added the Turkish word for very. In a formal sentence, saying it is very nice to meet you will make it even more polite. One more time. The informal way to introduce yourself in Turkish is Selam. Ben Zehra. Tanıştığımıza memnun oldum. The formal way to introduce yourself is Merhaba. Ben Zehra Özdemir. Tanıştığımıza çok memnun oldum. Now, it's time for Zehra's insights. When you introduce yourself, it's a good habit to shake hands. And don't worry too much about using çok when you meet with people. You won't get in trouble if you simply say, tanıştığımıza memnun oldum, as I said at the beginning of this lesson. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. Hazır mısınız? Are you ready? Hadi başlayalım o zaman. So let's start then. There are several ways to thank someone. So let's start with the easiest. It is just one word. Teşekkürler. Teşekkürler. Teşekkürler means thanks. Another casual way of saying thanks is sağ ol. Sağ ol. When saying thank you, you just need to use teşekkür ederim. Teşekkür ederim. Ederim means I give. So teşekkür ederim is like saying I give my thanks. In the last lesson, we mentioned both the informal and the formal way of speaking Turkish. If you want to be more formal, there's another phrase you should use. Çok teşekkür ederim. Çok teşekkür ederim. Let's break this phrase down. Teşekkür ederim means I give my thanks. You probably remember çok from the last lesson. It means very. And when we add it to the phrase, it strengthens teşekkür ederim and makes it more formal. How do you answer when someone thanks you? It's easy. There are basically two different ways to do it. The first is bir şey değil. Bir şey değil. Bir şey değil literally means it's nothing. You're saying that there's nothing worth thanking you for. The other way to say you're welcome is the expression sorun değil. Sorun değil. Literally, this phrase means no problem, but it has become a common and polite way to respond to someone thanking you. So, when someone says teşekkürler to you, simply reply with bir şey değil or sorun değil. Now, it's time for Zehra's insights. If you're not sure about whether to say teşekkürler or çok teşekkür ederim, keeping it simple is always your safest bet. You don't have to worry about formal or informal situations. Teşekkürler can be used with just about anyone, anywhere, and at any time.
First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
Bir adam ve kadın konuşuyorlar. Adam şimdi kaç yaşında? Doğum günün çok yakında.
Evet, ertesi gün.
Kaç yaşına gireceksin?
60'a giriyorum.
Tebrikler. Kutlayalım.
Çok teşekkür ederim.
Adam şimdi kaç yaşında? Bir adam ve kadın konuşuyorlar. Adam şimdi kaç yaşında? Doğum günün çok yakında.
Evet, ertesi gün.
Kaç yaşına gireceksin?
60'a giriyorum.
Tebrikler. Kutlayalım.
Çok teşekkür ederim.
First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
Bir adam ve kadın konuşuyorlar. Adamla birlikte kimler yaşıyor?
Yakınlarda bizim evi ziyarete gelsene.
Sağ ol. Ama biraz tedirginim. Tanışmadan önce ailen hakkında biraz bir şeyler bilmek isterim.
Tabii. Babam bir ofis çalışanı ve hobisi balık tutmak. Annem ev hanımı ve iyi yemek yapar.
Kız veya erkek kardeşin var mı?
Bir ablam, bir de küçük erkek kardeşim var. Ablam evli ve yurt dışında yaşıyor. Küçük kardeşim lise öğrencisi.
Güzel bir ailen var. Onlarla tanışıp konuşmak isterim. Adamla birlikte kimler yaşıyor? Bir adam ve kadın konuşuyorlar. Adamla birlikte kimler yaşıyor?
Yakınlarda bizim evi ziyarete gelsene.
Sağ ol. Ama biraz tedirginim. Tanışmadan önce ailen hakkında biraz bir şeyler bilmek isterim.
Tabii. Babam bir ofis çalışanı ve hobisi balık tutmak. Annem ev hanımı ve iyi yemek yapar.
Kız veya erkek kardeşin var mı?
Bir ablam, bir de küçük erkek kardeşim var. Ablam evli ve yurt dışında yaşıyor. Küçük kardeşim lise öğrencisi.
Güzel bir ailen var. Onlarla tanışıp konuşmak isterim.
When learning a new language, it's easy to think, I don't think I'm making any progress. What if I never reach my goals? We all get these thoughts from time to time. But are they worth being scared of? What are the fears language learners tend to have the most? And how can you learn to overcome them? Here are the top 4 language learning fears, according to our users. Number 1, I'm not good enough to start speaking yet. This is a pretty common fear or misconception that most learners have. Here's how you overcome it. The best way to get good at speaking is to start speaking from day 1. You need to open your mouth and just start talking. If you think you're not good enough, just focus on the lines you want to say. Number 2, I'm afraid I'll never be fluent. You've got to set small, specific goals. Make daily goals, like having just a 5-minute conversation. As these small goals add up, you'll be speaking more comfortably. Number 3, I'm not making any progress. There are 2 things you can do right now. Use the dashboard to track your progress. Our dashboard shows how much you've accomplished. Or try a harder lesson on our website. The lessons come with line-by-line translations, and the hosts explain everything. Now you can understand something you didn't minutes ago. Number 4. I'm afraid of not understanding anything I hear. This fear can occur when you hear advanced grammar and vocabulary and it just goes completely over your head. To beat this, simply read along with our line-by-line tool. It's the best way to instantly understand advanced conversations. Translations and scripts are right in front of you. For real-life situations, learn useful phrases such as, "Can you say it more slowly? I don't understand." There's nothing wrong with saying that you didn't understand something. So, these are the top 4 fears and how to overcome them. Luckily, we also have the perfect tools available to help you conquer your fears. Sign up for your free lifetime account, no credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Don't let your fears stop you. Start learning now.